Hello, everyone. This is Jason of Auglitical. I swim through the politics so you don't drown too. I'm just a man trying to bring common sense in a world where common sense isn't so common. It seems as though everyone's method in the New York tri state area of doing crime happens to be with the knife. A lot of New Yorkers, a lot of people in New York, a lot of people around New York walk around with knives. My consensus when it comes down to knife wielding is you don't have good intentions when you're carrying a knife. This is just the way I look at it. For all of that, I'd rather be strapping a gun. You're already doing something you shouldn't be doing. At least with a gun, your chances of survival is much better, or your chance of not hurting a person is much higher. It is what it is. That's just how I look at it. You're already using a weapon. It ain't like as though you're gonna get more time for having a gun than having a knife. But with a knife, once you pull out that knife, again, it's not a defensive weapon. But it seems as though everyone during around New Year's, all of these things that's popping up, all these crimes popping up with knives, I got a whole backlog of just videos covering knife crimes around the New York City area. So let's get into it. Metro North rider stabbed in chest after complaining about loud music on passenger's phone. Of course, the chaos underground spread to the commuter rails Saturday as a Metro North rider was stabbed in the chest over an argument about noisy music while a train arrived in Grand Central. All right, so the Metro North. For those of you that don't know what the Metro North is, the Metro North is a train that isn't the MTA. So it's not a New York City train, but it does go into New York City. These trains tend to be a little bit actually much more expensive than the normal trains, so you don't typically see people go on those trains because you have to pay a lot more to get on those trains. Also, those trains are leaving New York City, so people who tend to ride trains back and forth, like the homeless, deranged people, they don't really go on these trains very often. Now, that's not to say that people don't get on these trains still. What it is to say, because you got to show tickets. I've been on them trains before growing up, but it's a little bit more higher class. It tends not to be, let's just say the ignorants don't really go on this train very often. It can happen, but you don't really hear about crimes on the Metro North. Let's just put it like that because you got people coming from Yonkers, Westchester, New Haven, Connecticut, shit like this. I've been to all of those places on these trains. And the thing is, these people tend to be more well-mannered, right? Come from better walks of life. So hearing that somebody got stabbed on this train is like, come on now. The attack happened at 7 p.m. on a New Haven Line Metro North train arriving in the station, according to MTA PD. Abdul Malik Little sounds like a Muslim, sounds like a black Muslim converted dude. 46 was who the hell is who is this? I need to see what this dude look like. I'm sorry. Let's see what this dude look like. What do you look like, buddy? This you? That's not him. Hey, is this the same person? No, that's not the same person. Where's come what no what no get out of here, man. Where is he at? Was that the picture of him? No, that's not him. That's the other one that I just covered. That's a completely different person. Is this him? Bro, come on, bro. This shit gotta stop, bro. This forcing people to run your ads and shit. This shit gotta stop. I think this is him. Think this is him. Okay, so that's him. I'm looking for the picture, guys, because I we want to put a face to the we want to put a face to the article. They make it so hard to find information because they want to run their shitty ass ads. Come on now, come on now. We ain't got no pictures. I think that picture that we saw right there was him. All right, let's just read the fucking article. Whatever, man. Abdul Malik Little, 46, so you damn near almost 50 years old, was playing music over his phone speaker and took exception when a 31-year-old fellow rider complained about the racket. Again, though you have people that do antisocial shit. and they do it on purpose because it is a show of fucking power, right? When someone's acting antisocial, they're doing it because they know that more than likely no one's gonna come check them. That's really what it is. And it's crazy, right? Because if you do something, you already know the type of individual that you're dealing with is an unhinged individual. So more than likely they're gonna turn to violence. The craziest thing is to be 46 years old and be walking around with a knife is nasty. You not a youngin anymore, so you walking around trying to mix it up with a knife. You get what I'm saying? This is why I say nobody walking around with a knife has good intentions. I don't care what anybody. I rather listen. I'd rather just have a gun. Little stabbed the unidentified 31-year-old in the chest twice with a knife as the train pulled into Grand Central, the MTPD said. The victim was strong enough to exit the train at the station and identify his attacker to police who was patrolling the platform. Those policemen apprehended Little at the scene without incident and recovered the knife during the arrest. The 31-year-old victim was taken to Bellevue Hospital with injuries that considered non-life threatening. Little, from Jamaica, New York, is charged with attempted murder, felony assault, and criminal possession of a weapon, the MTPD said. He is arraigned at Manhattan Criminal Court on Sunday night and held on a $50,000 $50,000. Is it 50,000? $50,000 cash bail or whatever, whatever. I'm not reading. Whatever. Fucking stupid. Shouldn't be no bond for it. This is the second stabbing in as many weeks as Grand Central has and comes off the tail of series of horrifying crimes on the ground. On Christmas Eve, suspect Jason Sargent allegedly stashed a man on the wrist and a woman in the neck during a mad dash through Mad Central, according to NYPD. On December 22, a woman riding the F train was set on fire and burnt to death by an illegal Guatemalan migrant who torched her clothes, fanned the flames, and watched the 57-year-old Debrina Kawam die on the Coney Island Stillwell Avenue train stop. Sebastian Zabetta Cali, 33, was indicted on call and second-degree murder charges and one count of arson for the attack. He is due back in court on man, whatever. That dude need to be put down, whatever. On New Year's Eve, one strap hanger was pushed in front of the oncoming 1 train on 18th Street on Chelsea, and a shocking caught-on-tape attack. Again, another person that needs to be put down. This alarming rise in high-profile subway crime has caused the guardian angels to dust off the red berets. Curtis Sawa, Angels founder and former mayoral candidate. Yo, they really should have had Homeboy as the Curtis should have been the mayor of New York City. That would have been crazy. Uh, Curtis Sawa, Angels founder and former mayoral candidate, announced earlier this week that the anti-crime brigade will be resuming patrols of the city subway system for the first time since 2020. We're going to have to increase our numbers, increase the training, and increase our presence like we did back in 1979, Silva said at the Stillwell Avenue Coney Island station in Brooklyn last Sunday. When I commuted to the Hudson Line in the 90s between Manhattan and Westchester, the trains had a few quiet cars, no music, loud talking, etc. The quiet was strictly enforced by the train conductors, who moved violators to other train cars. Do these still exist? Um, well, it is the metro system, which is not the New York system, so it's much easier for them to enforce it. I would hope that it still exists, but in this case, this person was comfortable doing it, so I guess it doesn't exist anymore. A lot of things have changed. Sonny Jim replied, well, yes, they still exist, and conductors try to enforce the rules as much as they can. For the most part, there's no issues, none that I've seen anyway. But we are truly living in a very sick society when a person can attack another person over any triviality. Even on a relatively upper scale train line like the Metro North, no one is safe anywhere anymore. And this is absolutely the fucking truth. This is absolutely the fucking truth. And people are not understanding this. You're sitting there and you're on your goddamn high horse. You're on your goddamn high horse thinking that this shit can't happen to you. It absolutely can happen to you. It can happen anywhere right now because they're dropping off crazy people everywhere. Back then, people tended to follow the rules, unlike today, where everyone feels entitled to do whatever they want to. Hardworking educator says riders often disregard rules on the Metro North Railroad. Bicycles are not allowed on peak hour trains, yet somehow we still end up climbing over them every day. No one is supposed to blast music, yet people do it every day. No one, including the conductor, says anything. While the MNR is nowhere near as bad as riding the subway, basically the Metro North Railroad compared to the MTA, It is a very expensive alternative and should as such be stress-free for all passengers. Okay, true story. Two teens got on an outbound rush hour New Haven line at 125th carrying a large heavy box. Put the box down by the opposite side doors. Train switches to the express tracks and head north. As we got past one station after another, the teens get more anxious and worried looking. Finally get to Stanford and the doors don't open. The conductor announces there's a problem. Please be patient. Doors open and half a dozen Stanford cops rush in and grab the teens who have robbed the store, grabbed the cash register, and jumped on the first northbound train that pulled into 125th Street station. Unfortunately for them, it was an express. New York police called Metro North. Metro North called their trains, and one reported back, and the New York police called the Stanford police, who arranged a welcoming party. Good shit. See, and that's the thing. You would think it's not hard for them to do their job if they wanted to do their job. It's just, man, it's bad, bro. See, here we go. The judge released Abdul without bail for an apology for the inconvenience. See, this is the shit that I'm talking about right here, where it's like you just got these people that just think that all fucking New Yorkers enjoy the bullshit that's happening. This is a person being snarky. This is a person being sarcastic. But look at this. New York voters want it that way. That's why they elect Dems. Yes, that's the reason why New York almost turned red, because we want it that way. The truth of the matter is, you have so many people that are disenfranchised in New York, or too many people that are just fucking stupid. They don't vote. It's not that they want this; they just don't vote. And if they do vote, if we already know that the election, I'm not gonna even talk about the election, but you already know what's gonna come out of my mouth when talking about the last election before this one. If all the shit that went down like the way that it did, you really think New York wouldn't pull the Biden special? Come on now. Come on now. Anyway, guys, that's the video. I'll catch you next time. Peace.